So you know how I said the podcast would be next video? April Fools? The podcast is coming, okay? Probably even next video. But the reason that this video is coming out before it is because it's kind of hard getting a bunch of people to sit down at one place in one time and record something. So that's why this video is out today, and not the podcast. Alright, so recently I went on a school field trip to see Romeo and Juliet. All of the English or LA teachers of my grade thought it would be a good idea for us to go because in high school we study William Shakespeare a lot. They also said it would be a good idea to go because something about theming or something and understanding. I don't know, I don't listen in class. So I went to see this play, and the whole time I was just basically thinking, what is going on? I mean, I know now because the whole thing was explained to me, but I was thinking, what about all those kiddos out there who don't understand William Shakespeare and don't understand his books or his plays? Well, that's what I'm here for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the whole story of Romeo and Juliet, kind of abridged and stuff. So I'm going to explain it to you so you finally get it now. Okay, let's go. Okay, so once upon a time there were two families, the Elmos and the Grovers. They hated each other for some reason, and one day they had a really big battle. They either used swords or guns, it depends on what version you're watching. So the guy in charge of the area they were in said something along the lines of, "You kiddos better stop your fighting, or you'll be banished, or I'll kill you," or something. So they stopped fighting. Later that night, the King Elmo decided to have a huge party and invite like a ton of people. I mean, a ton of people. So he sends out one of his guards and he says, "You, tell all these people on this list to come to my great party." So the guard goes out into town, but realizes, I can't read. So he goes to the nearest person and he says, "Yo, can you read this?" Enter Romeo Grover. He's the son of the king of the Grovers, and yes, he knew how to read. So he reads the list to the guy, and the whole time he's thinking, what a nice party tonight. I think I'll go. So Romeo and all of his friends go to this awesome party. And there's this girl there. Her name is Juliet Elmo. Juliet's parents want her to marry Bug Boy. But Juliet's all like, "I will not marry this Bug Boy, okay? I do not want anything to do with this Bug Boy, okay? He is smelly and I do not like him." But King Elmo's like, "Okay, fine, but you have to dance with him tonight, and then probably you'll end up falling in love with him, because that's how these stories work." So Juliet replies with, "Okay, Daddy, whatever you say." So she's dancing with Bug Boy, and she catches the eye of Romeo Grover. Romeo is staring at her, and then she realizes it, and she's all like, "Who is this creep staring at me? You know, he's kind of cute." So she walks away from Bug Boy. They stare at each other for a bit. She calls him Pilgrim a lot. And then they start making out. Boom! Makeout sesh! And while they're making out, Juliet Elmo's nurse comes over, and she's thinking, "I don't like this. No, sir. I don't like these kiddos together making out." Epic foreshadowing. So the nurse takes Juliet Elmo away, and boom, Romeo's by himself again. And then late that night, he goes to her tower, and then they start chatting. And then they're like, boom, we've known each other for a day or so. We like each other. Let's get married. So Romeo finds this guy that's going to be able to marry them, and they get married. Then Juliet's cousin and Romeo's friend or cousin, I don't remember, get into a big fight, and Romeo's friend/cousin dies. Oh no! So Romeo gets up, and he kills Juliet's cousin. So Romeo's a fugitive now. So Juliet comes up with a plan. She was going to fake her own death and wake up 28 hours later and run away forever with Romeo. But the problem was, Romeo thought she was actually dead. So he actually kind of killed himself. Yeah. So then Juliet wakes up, sees that Romeo killed himself, and she kills herself. Yay! I'm just kidding. I don't like that she died. I'm not excited or anything. I'm not like into it, just so you know. So the Elmos and the Grovers finally decide to put this feud behind them and become best friends. It took you that freaking long? Both of your children had to die. What were you even mad at each other for? In my opinion, Romeo and Juliet has a lot of plot holes. William Shakespeare is time and time again called a genius for this piece of work, but I kind of have to disagree. If a theater full of middle schoolers and high schoolers don't understand your play, then maybe you have some things to work out. But who am I to criticize you, Shakespeare? I'm only a kid who makes YouTube videos on the internet. Now, I like to change a lot of Romeo and Juliet. How about, for starters, they get to know each other first before they get married? That'd be pretty good. Anyway, that's my take on Romeo and Juliet. The podcast is coming. I'm going to thank you for watching. Okay, bye-bye now.